All right. We're doing this. Who are you?
I'm Jamal Taylor.
This is Jamal. We're going to talk about his recent experience in a
Psychotic breakdown.
you had to go to a psych ward, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I had to describe you on the level of energy from 1 to 10, just from knowing you, you're always at like a 6 or a 7. But the last few times I saw you before that happened, I would say you were like an 8 or a 9. So what was going on?
Man, I was just having this rush of energy throughout my whole body, and I couldn't explain it. And it was just like I wasn't getting any sleep. I was thinking the wildest shit about my friends. I was thinking the wildest shit about life. I was making connections with life that didn't exist. It was, in a way, just not cohesive to like, I don't know. It's hard to really describe that experience. Like, I was making a lot of connections. Well, incoherent is the word I'm looking for, not cohesive. Incoherent.
Yeah, I've experienced it. It's like every mania. It's like every idea that you have is the best idea ever. You're really jittery and, like you said, incoherent, and it's just you don't know what to do with yourself. But I think it's beneficial in a way that you can use it in hindsight to look back and find a place where you like should try to be on a happy medium, just as like a spectrum sort of thing. You can like maybe draw from that and start to notice when you're just being high energy, and you can take advantage of it instead of tricking yourself into thinking that you're invincible, just using it to focus your efforts into one thing. But I mean, how did you end up in the psych ward?
I crashed my car the second time I got into it. The first time I checked myself in because I wasn't sleeping and I was having paranoid delusions and thoughts. So I had to
describe some of those.
Oh man, you're asking for a lot. I'm just fucking with you. I thought my homies was trying to set me up. I thought I murdered somebody.
You thought you murdered somebody?
Yeah, after my house had burned down, I thought the smoke from the house had killed somebody.
Oh, from that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we were all up there, and none of us lived in that apartment at the time. So I could have been caught as criminal arson, what we were doing. So I was just super duper.
Oh, so that's okay. So yesterday when we were talking, you were saying you were just really trying to feel lucky and generous that you're not. That's what you were referring to.
That a bunch of other shit. I mean, I got arrested for a DUI.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still fighting that case. I'm about to lose it. I have to do 2 days in jail for it.
Oh, well, I mean, that's I would still feel really lucky.
It's like, I was just thinking about how some people have to do 6 months, 60 years in jail.
Yeah.
Never see a light of day ever again. I'm just like, jail.
Yeah.
Jail is monotonous. You do one thing and one thing only.
Mm-hmm.
Stare at the fucking walls.
I'm really glad it's only 2 days and not any longer, because if they were to look into what was going on in the context of your situation, they would probably, hopefully, realize that it's not a good thing to put somebody who's having issues in a confined space with nothing to do. It's not going to help you. But what was the process like from you going in to now you being out? Like, what did somebody do anything to help you, or what happened?
Well, the psych ward itself felt like jail.
Okay.
Just being in there, confined space, 3 meals a day, with people just like you. You gotta sit on a phone that's a foot long exactly. You gotta talk on the phone, so you gotta remember numbers. It's just like, damn, I'm really locked up. Can't get out. They won't let you leave because you could be potentially a threat to society. They let you leave. And knowing that they can't let you leave, you have to wait for a lawyer, talk to you. You got to, like, the doctor's basically the adjudicator at this point. The judge and jury is just like, or he or she is just looking at you like, yeah, you can't leave right now. Just can't leave right now. And that's how it was. It was like psych wards are the second closest things to jail you can go to.
So you didn't feel like they were trying to help your mental state? Or?
Oh, they definitely did help my mental state, you know, with the group therapy kind of fucking blows. Group therapy fucking sucks. Because there's no point. It's just, you all sit around, talk about your feelings. You're just like, oh, obviously we're all crazy because we're in a fucking psych ward. So there's not much more we can gain from each other being.
I get what you're saying though, because it's like how I imagine AA or NA, Narcotics Anonymous. I imagine that a lot of times, or even like something like sex addiction, like if you put a bunch of addicts together, yeah, they could all help each other. But also, I'm pretty sure they're all contemplating using together or because it's just the thoughts that humans have. Like, no matter how hard you try to better yourself, there's always this and then that, like binaries, dualities, dichotomies.
Yeah, I was thinking very binary too in that state. I was thinking like if I did something, then somebody else would do it too. And I was thinking very ones and zeros, ones and zeros, ones and zeros. And I told myself I need a third person to break me out of this.
Yeah.
I kept telling myself. And at the time, I was using my girlfriend. We're in a weird situation. I don't know.
As two people would be.
We're friends right now.
Yeah.
And
that happens. Yeah.
I was just telling myself, she's like the only person that can break me out of this little cycle of.
Which isn't exactly the healthiest thing to do.
That's what I know now. That's what I know now. So I was just, in a way, trying to see, like, hey, help me break out of this because I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm waking up in cold sweats. I'm sweating in bed, only sleeping for 4 hours, fucking waking up with night terrors, thinking I'm gonna die, thinking that she's gonna die. I'm just like, gee, this can't be real. This can't be real. Yeah, so I hopped my dumb ass on a plane, went to go see her, because she lives far away. She doesn't live in the state. And she's like, yeah, you're fucking tweaking. But she didn't say it like that. She was like, yeah, you're not okay. But
what do you think led up to this? What was it, like an internal thing? Were you inside of your head too much?
I was inside of my head entirely too much.
Okay.
I don't know how my brain just took a shit on it. Just took a shit on itself like that.
No, I've definitely been through this in some capacity. Because I'm like a homebody anyway, so I'm really what do you call that? Introverted or whatever. So I spend most of my time thinking, which is not conducive to like doing things. Because you're just stuck thinking instead of actually acting on what you're thinking about doing. And then you get frustrated by the inaction, which leads you to think more You just have to stop. You just have to, at least in my case, you have to ignore. You have to filter out yourself, your droning, neurotic thoughts. But I mean, do you think this is going to happen again? Do you think this is something that you have to deal with now, or because you strike me as like a very confident, like mentally strong, almost stubborn person?
That's where I was stubborn.
Okay.
And I wasn't listening to nobody. And I had to let go and be like, yeah, listen to somebody. When I asked for help, because I spent so many years not asking for help, I didn't realize that, like, it's been almost 5 years since I asked for my father's help. It's been 5 years since a friend of mine had died. I wasn't really, didn't get any closure on that. Well, I was over it. But one of my friends started crying. She was the most affected by, well, the third most person affected by it outside of the person's family. And just hearing those tears, it triggered me. The doctor said I had PTSD from it, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. And it kept, like, after my house burned down, I was having flashbacks of the time I seen niggas get killed.
Oh, so your house actually burned down? I thought you said that you thought it burned down.
No, it actually burned down.
Wow. And when was this?
February 18th.
Wow. Wow, okay. We're definitely gonna have to do a part 2 to this.
Yeah, a lot of shit was going on.
But okay, I'm running low on time. We're gonna do a part 2, but I'm gonna. This is a huge question, but I'm just to keep a central thread into these interviews. I'm gonna ask every person that I interview at the end, what do you think is holding us? What jumps out to you as a individual? What do you think are the things that are holding us back? And when I say us, I mean everyone, the whole human species, from coming together.
Definitely, it's more of it's a lack of suffering. It's a lack of understanding of suffering that people don't have about each other. But
just in our like day-to-day lives,
people realize that, like, hey, he got shot at, and you got shot at too.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need to shoot at these two niggas.
Okay, that's very Chicago-centric, I think, but also other places too. Yes.
Like, he doesn't have food to eat. You don't have food to eat.
So if you steal what he has, he really has nothing, and now he's gonna go steal somebody else's food.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just started a circle of violence.
Yes, it's very. I feel like people are very quick to throw out like biblical lessons, but that is essentially Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
That is the cycle of violence will never end if no one ever takes it upon themselves to forgive and end it, because if there's revenge, then there's revenge on revenge.
Also, you gotta get rid of the Bible has to be not taken as real life.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that, but
saying, like, people, like, as a whole, the human race has to get together and decide, like, it has to be a council of niggas to be like, yes, the Bible isn't real. These are only stories. You're gonna get somebody fucking killed. Bang the cap.
Okay, I think that's a good note to stop. And we're gonna come back with part 2 of Jamal Taylor. All right.